Okay. Kayleen, do you want to go ahead and share this?
Yeah, welcome to the webinar tonight, everybody. We're happy to have you here. And my name is Kayleen Bagley. I am the director for Joy Coaching America. And we so appreciate you taking time out of your evening tonight. We're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started learning how to use the Cherishing, How to Mend a Broken Heart book with recipes and blends for mending broken hearts. So this was written by Karen Grant, who's a licensed massage therapist, as well as a singer and a songwriter. And we are super grateful to have her here to talk about this book tonight. So thank you so much.
Okay. Well, we're going to start with muting our background so we get a clear recording. And thank you to Teresa for going ahead and recording this, and to Kayleen for introducing this. And okay. They always add a new little extra prompt into these Zoom calls that weren't there before. Tonight, we're sharing with you this Cherishing book, How to Mend a Broken Heart. And many of you who were at convention, you'll be receiving this recording if you can't make it to the call tonight, or you are invited to come back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And since we have a few women on the call, we're going to be able to muscle test for these women and share with you how to use this book. This book is the result of many years of heartbreak, I would have to say. And that as I've gone through my life, I believe that God has healed my heart numerous times. And most recently in 2001, when I was in massage therapy school, and I felt very prompted that the reason that I was there was to get a license to actually work with the human body, that we all need. We need certification in order to work with people. But what I felt would be my greatest gift would be the desire that I had to help those who were suffering from emotional or spiritual unhappiness in their life. And that, yes, that's very soothing to receive a massage when you're suffering from depression or sorrow or sadness or grief, but more is needed, not just a massage. And so I created a method that anybody can use, not just a massage therapist, which would be a 9 touch point method. And this 9 touch point method is in your book. And I'll just turn to that page. And this is the 9 touch point method. Some people have said, is this just a chakra balance? And it is much more than a chakra balance. It's on the front of your body because it is a self-nurturing process first and foremost. We are all in need of self-nurturing. And I had a client today who came to me. She works full-time. And she said, I'm just not getting the emotional balance that I need in my life. And I encouraged her and said to her, you know what, there are times when we just have to claim our own self-nurturing time. So one of the things that I encourage the Joy Coaches is that we all need some time every day to ourselves. And in this book, on this page, it says 5-minute morning exercises for nurturing your heart, your mind, your body, and your spirit. So these, at the very least, are a 5-minute meditation that you can do for yourself. What you will need is roll-on bottles, and you can use these diffuser bottles, these spritzer bottles, because you can create this. And if you have Gia eye water, you can use the blends and create them in your eye water so that you can create spritzers. And we just had a beautiful water call where we're talking about all the cells of our body, whether those are blood cells or skin cells, that they are aquaporin, and that these cells take in single file aligned water. And when you add your oils to single file aligned water, it is emulsified, and you don't have to sit there and shake your bottle and watch the oil rise to the top and sit on the top of the water. that this is emulsified. And so you're able to use your spritzer and spritz on these beautiful blends and breathe in those heavenly oils and those heavenly blends to create shifts, because when you use essential oils, it actually interrupts the negative cyclical thought patterns by moving up through the olfactory bulbs into the amygdala, where it's stored, like on little computer chips, where it's stored the information bits of emotional debris or toxicity that's been left energetically in your amygdala. And so as you do this and as you breathe in those oils, I would counsel you to close your eyes, because I didn't and I got some oil in my eye. Close your eyes when you spritz. Make sure your eyes and your mouth are closed. But do that spritzing, and you can spritz. And I've been doing a lot of spritzing lately, and I have noticed changes in my color. I'm spritzing a lot of rose oil. I'm spritzing the blends and putting that into that eye water that is a single file aligned water that actually emulsifies the oil so that it goes into those aqua pores in your skin that allow one molecule at a time. Otherwise, you can create these blends into roller bottles and put the labels on the roller bottles and just put them on the 9 touch points or anywhere where you want to put them. But I'm going to be teaching you tonight how to use your book and the 9 touch points. And so I'm going to show you first and foremost where those 9 touch points are. First, at the pituitary gland. And yes, that is a chakra. The Chinese call that the 7th chakra. The Western world calls this the pituitary gland. And so you'll find that the endocrine system really lines up with the Chinese chakra system. So we're going to put oil, and if your client or yourself, you don't want oil in your hair, then I suggest you put it right here at the baseline of your hair and at the occipital ridge at the base of your skull. And you can hold that oil and put that oil right in and use the V hold, because this is AC/DC connection, and putting that oil right in to this part of your brainstem at the occipital ridge and right there, so that it's not getting your hair oily. Okay, the next place you're going to put it is over the pineal gland. And of course, the pineal gland is much deeper into the brain, but you have got thousands of neuroreceptors in your skin and in your skull, in the muscle around your skull, that takes these oils into those neuroreceptors. So you're going to, the second place to put the oil is right here over the pineal gland. Then you're going to put the oils on your ears, and you have auricular points, which are emotional clearing points. Why would you have those in your ears, you might wonder? And I'll share with you that the reason you have those in your ears, I believe, is because God knew that we would be hearing a lot of abuse, and that abuse goes into our ears, and that 70% of the abuse that we take in is not necessarily visual, it is audible. And that as you take in abuse, it typically will go in through harsh words, harsh tones of voice. And so we want to make sure that we're cleansing those ears of the abuse by putting the oils into auricular points that go down and around the entire earlobe. As well, you can put that behind the ears as well. Of course, under the nose. And under the nose, there's many meridians that are ending and traveling through all of these points that I'm sharing. And so you'll want to put the oils under the nose, not only so that you can smell them, but because you're also not only addressing the endocrine system, but your electrical meridian system. And then we put the oils over the parathyroid, which runs along your neck, over your thyroid. And so this is, again, the Chinese call this the 5th chakra. But for us, who knows that the parathyroid and thyroid is part of the endocrine system, that's where we're going to be putting it. then over the thymus and the heart, over the lungs. And so that this oil is moving in and traveling through your lungs, through your heart, and through your thymus, another gland, another endocrine gland. And as well as getting into the pericardium, which is the sac around your heart. And hold just a second. So I did get oil in my eye, and I just asked my husband if he would go get me some oil to put on my eye. And if you ever do get oil in your eye, don't use water, because water, and especially warm water, will drive that oil right in. I remember Connie Boucher sharing an experience where she was just learning about essential oils, and she did a demonstration where she put lavender in her eye, and she did it on purpose. She put it in a baby's eye, and the baby screamed and screamed. So the next thing she did was pour the lavender in her own eye. She put lavender in her own eye so that the baby wouldn't be the only one. So do not put essential oils in your eyes. And if you get essential oil in your eye, just use some olive oil or some vegetable oil or some coconut oil, whatever you have the closest at hand. Feels much better already. Okay, so the next point is at your umbilicus, and your navel holds 6,000 nerve endings. Your umbilicus is where you were formed and created, where you received nutrition in the whole creation process when you were developed over 9 months, while your entire brain and body systems were being created. So you're going to put that oil blend into your belly button. There's 6,000 to 7,000 nerve endings. They know the intelligence of the oils, and the intelligence of your innate body systems knows right where to go, right where to take that oil. And so, for instance, if Kayleen was using lavender oil and Karen was using lavender oil, there's over 1,000 uses for lavender oil. Kayleen's body is going to be using lavender oil for some innate purposes that Kayleen's body needs. Karen's body is going to be using a lavender oil for some innate needs that Karen's body needs. And all of our bodies are using the oils for different reasons at different times. So again, the belly button is a huge point. Now I'm wearing this bracelet, and you can see it's a pearl bracelet, and it's got 5 layers of beads. It's got a pearl bead, and then a rhinestone bead, and then a layer of pearls again, a layer of rhinestones, and a layer of pearls. And this is much like the meridians that run through our wrists. You have 5 meridians that run through the wrist points on one side of your arm. And on this side of my arm, I have a bracelet that has 4 rows. And that's how it is. There's 4 meridians that run through this arm and 5 meridians that run through this arm. You have 12 meridians in your body. These are the electrical cords. So imagine that the cell phone is my pericardium, which is the sac that surrounds my heart, which keeps the blow away from my heart. And this is the meridian that brings electrical energy to that pericardium. So these cords in your body are electrical circuitries that run and travel. In a massage school, we had to memorize the pathways of the entire 12 meridians as they wound through the bodies. And as a joy coach, I don't ask you to memorize those, but we do give you the pages in one of the manuals so that if you choose to memorize your meridian runs, you can do that. And then along those meridian runs and along your whole entire body are acupressure points. So moving on down the body, we do not touch the pelvis area. The oil goes into the belly button and over the stomach. And then we move on down the body to the tops of the toes where they meet the foot, which are lymph points, and as well the bottoms of the feet. So this is another place where you would apply the oils. So now let me number them for you. You've got the pituitary, or the top of the head, and if you don't want oil in your hair, you're going to put it at the occipital ridge and right here at your hairline for point number 1. Point number 2 is your pineal gland, under the nose, at the earlobes, one at a time, taking extra care so that each ear feels loved, and then the other ear, 3 times on each ear, at the throat, which is the throat chakra, but it's also the parathyroid, the thyroid gland, and moving this oil over your throat. Then over the heart, the pericardium, and your lungs. And then at the wrist points, where I've got my bracelets for a visual aid, and the reason the wrist points is because you've got meridians that end and begin and travel through your wrists, and then on the palms of the hands, and pulling the oil off of every single one of your fingers. Now, when you do this, and when you're doing it for a client, you're going to flick off the ends of your fingers. And because you have meridians that begin and end in the finger points and the ends of the fingertips, you have now just, it's like going into the fuse box in your garage and just tightening all the little fuses. And that's going to help the energy do its runs through those meridians. Then you're going to move down to the solar plexus, the umbilicus, the navel. You're going to put oils on the stomach. If you're not a massage therapist, I suggest that you let your client put the oil in their own belly button. I think that you don't need to put the oil in your client or in your client's belly button, but just put the oil.
Karen, your microphone is blocked.
That's really funny. Okay, is it doing better now?
A little bit.
Okay, so you're going to put the oil into your own belly button, but let your client put it into their own. So we're just really doing this as a self-nurturing process, or you can do this for your own family. Then you travel down the legs to the ankle points, and imagine that this is my ankle, and you've got these female organs on either side of your foot. You're going to put it on the bottoms of the feet. You're not doing a massage. You're just drawing it down the ends of the toes, and I'm using my hand because it's easier than doing my toes on the camera. And so right here on your toes are the lymph points. So you want to make sure that you get that oil applied to the lymph. We call that the 8th touch point. Then the 9th touch point is in doing this effleurage in the auric field, in the biofield around your body. So this is going all the way down your own body, and all the way down the outside of your thighs and down to your toes and brushing down. Then you can bring that energy up towards your heart. And so that's basically the 9 touch point. Now what I want to do is, I don't know exactly, we've got 14 people on the call tonight, and we've got 30 minutes. So what I want to do is test each one of you for a healer's touch blend. Some of you may test for the same blend and the same blessing. So we're going to go do that first, and then we're going to read the blessings. When you're doing this for yourself, you can create all 9 blends in either a roller bottle or the spritz bottle. We have labels for that. And Jared Jarvis has created labels to go on those bottles. And I would suggest you put tape around the bottle, because if you're using the eye water in your bottle, you don't want it to saturate your label and mess it up, okay? So put double wide tape around your label to keep it secure from the oils and from the water. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and muscle test through the Healer's Touch. The Healer's Touch has, when you open your book, the Healer's Touch has 9 blends. And you're going to notice that it says the Healer's Touch Blessing and Blend, and the song is the Healer's Touch. And you're saying, but I didn't get a CD with that. There is a CD to go with each one of these chapters if you want to add on the musical part of this music and aromatherapy duet program. But otherwise, you can just use the beautiful blessings and create the blends to go with them. So we have the Healer's Touch Blessing and Blend, Sense of Peace Blessing and Blend. And no matter which oil company you're from, whether you're from doTERRA or Young Living or Longevity or Purify or Butterfly Express, these have all been made with oils that your company, you can go to your company to get these oils. Then we have Magic Kisses and Childlike Faith. Again, the name of the blend matches the name of the song. This is so that you can bring pure intent. So as you're putting on that blend, your brain, your mind is saying, I am breathing in childlike faith. And the brain is so obedient and impressionable, bringing in childlike faith, breathing it in, expanding it through the lungs, and we're going to go and we're going to test each one of you for a blend tonight. Then we have Sorrow into Song. We have Flaming Sword and Forgiving Heart. We have Pure Love, and we have Sweet Surrender. There's 9 blends that you would create either with oils or Gia water as a spritz or as an oil blend. Now, you don't have to stop there because the next chapter is Divine Essence and has music and CDs to go with that as well. These are for a sense of joy. And there's 10 blends for this. Again, there's a song for every blend. There's a blessing for every blend. And these are like little prayers. And I use these for my clients, but tonight we're using them for you. Okay, so the book goes on. Then there's the lullaby connection. And if you've got the book, you can go ahead and just look through your book and get familiar. It's not hard to use, but we wanted you to have a webinar for that so that you can realize, oh, and then I get to make 9 beautiful blends for my children or my grandchildren. And there's a CD for each one of those as well. So this is really a musical process so that you can connect to yourself and at least have 5 minutes of nurturing time every day. We didn't stop there. Now we go into the oils of gladness. And there's 17 blends for the oils of gladness, which are likened to the oils of gladness mentioned in the Bible. I love this picture. And so we've got the oil of virtue, the oil of charity, the oil of joy, the oil of rejoicing, the oil of praise. And I know Kayleen's made these blends. I know Dorothy, if she's on the call, she's made the Divine Essence blends. And some of you may have already made them. But I think that the funnest way to do this is to make them all at once. So you get all your bottles lined up and you make one batch for that chapter, one at a time. It will tell you the song and the CD to listen to if you want to make this a musical process using all 5 senses. Otherwise, you can do this just breathing in the blend, applying it to your 9 touch points, and reading the blessing out loud to yourself. I've written it in the first person so that as you read this, you are connecting with each one of the blends. So it goes on. There's 12 singing chakra blends, which are also for the meridians. And then we move into the enlightened journey. This is a woman's journey to wholeness, bringing into and connecting to, through our limbic system, a sense of inner beauty and acknowledging about the beautiful woman that we are and that we have become. And then we go through that journey. So you can see that there's lots to create in these books, but tonight we're going to go specifically and test each one of you for a healer's touch blend, and then we're going to be able to read those to you. Now, some women, and I've had clients, and I myself have gone through divorce, this is reclaiming a sense of dignity after a woman has experienced abuse. And all of these blessings are written again in the first person. And releasing fear and jealousies and insecurities, comparisons and neediness. These are beautiful blessings in order to develop godly confidence or to regain confidence in oneself after we've gone through hardship. Now, joy in the morning. And this chapter was added to this book because of my work at the mortuaries with working with grieving people. And so there's 17 days to help a person to move through grief, a blessing a day for 17 days. And it tells you the song to listen to. You can use it as a single oil, or you can create the blend for that, the Healer's Touch blend. Okay? So there's more, but I just wanted to give you kind of that little brief walkthrough so that you can feel like, okay, I know that there's something for everyone in this book, something for everything that you might be going through. And tonight we're going to start with our foundation piece, which is our Healer's Touch blends. So I'm backing up through the book and through Ancient Legacy and through the Lullaby Connection, 8 CDs for nighttime nurturing for children, backing up through Divine Essence, which is to awaken the brilliant spirit within. And you know, some of you have heard the scripture that before you can put new wine into your bottle, you've got to cleanse the old wine out of the bottle. And so in these processes, this was my intention, that through the Healer's Touch, we acknowledge the hidden wounds. And through our joy coaching journey, we're acknowledging. And for everyone who is a joy coach, you know that this process is very healing for the joy coaches as well, that every one of us stands in need of joy coaching. We're all being given pop quizzes every single day of our life to work through. And so not only is this for your clients, but first and foremost for you. So right now, I'm going to show you how to muscle test. This is the way I do it. I know there's many ways of muscle testing. This is my favorite way, and I will muscle test a client, but also over a call, I will, when I do these webinars, I can muscle test a person. And so Julie, can I go ahead and muscle test you for a Healer's Touch blessing and blend tonight?
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Okay, so there's 9. So rather than scroll through the pages, I'm going to just count. For Julie McClaw's permission to test, circuits in the clear, and this is because we are all connected. We'll have another webinar if you want to know more about muscle testing, but circuits in the clear for me to test for Julie for the blend that she, heart, mind, body, and spirit, would be beneficial for Julie today. So the Healer's Touch, sense of peace. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to go to number 8, which is pure love. So Julie, I'm just going to read this blessing to you. And everybody else, you can piggyback. And if you've got the orange or frankincense, this has been corrected. This is an older file. This really is the pure love blend. I pulled this one up in a hurry, but this is the pure love blend. So Julie, if you've got orange or frankincense or lemon or lavender, go ahead and get the Melissa out or whatever it is. Melissa's wonderful for the heart. Ylang Ylan's wonderful for the heart as well. And the rest of you can listen along and just see how we do this. So all of you, if you have an oil, you can apply that to the 9 touch points, or you can just put it under your nose, breathe it in and close your eyes, and just connect to the message of the blessing. So you make sure that if you're doing this for someone else, you ask them to close their eyes and to really get in a relaxed position to really hear the blessing. You can also make a little recording of your own voice reading this to yourself if you'd like, so that you hear the power of your voice affirming these words. As I breathe in the blessing and blend of pure love, I feel my heart opening to experience divine love. This love transcends my own ability to love. I allow myself in this moment to experience the feeling of pure love that God has for me. This blessing and blend has a fresh, soft scent that is intoxicatingly delicious. Pure love is calming to the emotions, eases tension, releases anger, frustration, resentment, grief, feelings of isolation, and aggression. It is a sedative blend, quieting obsessions and egocentric behavior Pure love brings warm memories of heaven to earth, filling my heart with a sense of divine love for myself. As I grow in love, honor, respect, and appreciation for myself, I am freed to love others, even as I love myself. I am romancing my very own soul with the gift of song and scent now. And you let Julie breathe that in. If you're doing this for yourself, you breathe that oil in, you listen to that meditation. And so, Julie, how did that feel with where you are today?
It was very beautiful. It was what I needed to hear about loving myself and loving others and connecting with my divine self. I can't think of another blessing that would have been sweeter for me today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Julie. Do you want to go ahead and muscle test for somebody else in the group? Julie is a joy coach. She's a regional joy coach. And so has been in training for the past year. Now, I think we met on October the 21st of last year. And so it's been a year, and so Julie is now into regional joy coaching. And so, Julie, if you would like to be the muscle tester and do the reading for the next person, that would be wonderful. Is anybody wanting to be a volunteer to be muscle tested for? Would anybody like to have? Okay, there's Shar. Oh, we love Shar. We just met Shar, and we'll be doing Mimi in just a minute too. Anybody who wants it, we'll be here with you.
Hi,
Okay.
Shar. It's good to see you.
Okay, so Julie, will you test Shar?
Definitely. Absolutely. I'd be happy to. So,
you can just count 1 through 9.
number 5.
Okay. Let me scroll down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorrow into song.
Okay.
5 is actually childlike faith.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Thank you, Kayleen.
Okay, thank you. All right, childlike faith. As I breathe in childlike faith, I am filled with the gift of a believing heart and mind. This blend was prepared and created for the purpose of bringing my heart and my mind to a recollection of my childlike ability to trust in the trustworthy, to be open with the faithful, and to feel faith in myself in times of trial and adversity. As I breathe in this blessing, I am inspired with an increased sense of my own precious faith in God and in my ability to do all things with His divine intervention and guidance. I release all fear of any opposition. I can do great things with His divine intervention, guidance, and support. I rejoice amidst the adversity. This blessing and blend aids in rebuilding in me a renewed sense of courage, confidence, and self-esteem. I am being enlivened, quickened, and enhanced with feelings of calm, peace, and relaxation to my heart and mind, body, and spirit. The synergy of childlike faith assists in bringing a sense of balance to my electrical energies, meridians, chakras, and auric field. I rejoice in the gift of childlike faith.
Thank you, Julie. And Shar, how did that message feel for you?
There we go. That was wonderful. You do have to have a childlike faith, and I feel like I do have a childlike faith in me.
You do have childlike faith. I met you, and you were just like so willing to receive and so beautiful. So this is just to anchor all that in. And when you are experiencing this, and we don't really touch ourselves in a nurturing way. and to be able to put the oils on ourselves on those 9 touch points and give ourselves permission to just say, oh, I love me, and just really foster the nurturing and become our very own best friend, and to really acknowledge, like you said, I have childlike faith, and just to anchor that in and to remember that beautiful gift about yourself. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Kayleen, would you like to test someone on the call? Kayleen is our director of Joy Coaching in Arizona. Kayleen, would you like to test somebody who would like to be tested? Muscle testing on the call?
Sure. Didn't you have 2 people who said they wanted to already?
Yes, Mimi, MP.
Okay. I will go ahead and test for Mimi. Permission to test.
I just have to say that Mimi MP is a dear friend, and her daughter is our website designer who's redoing the website. And I just spent all day with Anna, and Anna was the Oil Life website creator when she worked at Oil Life. So Mimi and I have connections.
So she tested for the first one, the Healer's Touch.
Beautiful. Okay. So Mimi, you get to get one of your oils, and if you have bergamot or frankincense or melissa, any of these oils, we'll wait for you while you go get an oil. And if anybody else wants to bring your bag of oils back or a case of oils, or you go run and get your favorite oil for your turn, if you'd like to receive this. We're just showing you that each woman, we're all on the same journey, but on maybe sometimes a different page. And so Mimi's testing for the Healer's Touch blend. It's so comforting to have somebody else read this to you, especially as they're doing those stroking, whispering strokes. I call it the whispering stroke because it's actually touching all the acupressure points. Your body, it's just filled with acupressure points, and this light touch just awakens all these little neuroreceptors and says, oh, I'm being loved, I'm being nurtured.
Is Mimi there? Or, oh, there she is.
Coming back. Okay, I just unmuted you, Mimi.
Oh, I just had to find my tiny bottle. I couldn't see it.
Okay, did you want me to read it, Karen?
Yes.
Okay. As I breathe in the Healer's Touch, I feel a sense of divine protection entering my auric field. This blessing and blend was formulated to build, strengthen, and protect my body, as well as my spiritual being. It is an incredible immunity builder. The Healer's Touch revives exhausted emotions, clears mental confusion, and reduces body fatigue by enlivening my senses. It improves memory, inspires the desire to achieve, lifts depression, and relieves anxiety and stress. It is useful in protecting my temple from disease. As I am touched by the Healer's Touch, I feel an increased desire to share the gift of healing with my loved ones. I am moving forward with gifts of divine intuition, compassion, empathy, and kindness for myself and others.
Thank you. And Mimi, how did that one feel for you in this moment of your life?
Really wonderful. And very helpful. And gives me the hope that I've been needing.
It's amazing the power of the word, isn't it? And especially when it can be specifically tested for you, not just a random thought, but specifically tested just for you. And then you breathe in that oil, and it just anchors that blessing into your heart and your soul and your mind and your body.
That's what it feels like. Thank you.
Oh, so happy you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, would Margaret or Garnet or Tammy Dickinson, Garnet saying yes, and is Margaret saying yes?
I would love to test for Gardner or somebody else before I have to leave in a minute, but I'd love to test for someone else.
Okay, so Julie, go ahead and test for Garnet.
Okay. I'm so happy to see you on the call, Garnet. Number 4.
Let's see if Karen can count. Self, and I'm going to stop the share so we can see each other largely again. The power of the spoken word, the power of positive, pure intention, whether that's spoken as a prayer or as a blessing, as a meditation or as an affirmation, to be able to have this book beside your bed, to be able to open it up in the morning, to have your little beautiful little set of blends that you've created to go with it, to even create a blending class so that you can invite people over to your home and play the music in the background and have the single oils diffusing and have light refreshments. Sandra has created a postcard and gift certificates, and I'm going to show those to you right now, what Sandra has created. She is just such a gift to all of us for these making things beautiful. And so I'm going to go and trying to find there it is, Cherishing Way. So here it is, and I'm going to pull that up, and let's see if I can make it bigger. Here it is. And so if you would like to give a little session, whether that be a little 10-minute session or a 15-minute session. I've done a session like this with Kayleen that lasted the entire hour as we went through the back of the book through the Cherishing Heart Blends. But here is the business card. So if you're a wellness advocate, whether you're with doTERRA, I know that Char's with Longevity, whatever company you're with, you can have a blessing and blend party. If you've got the book, you can invite some friends over, introduce them to the oils, and take turns sharing a blend with them. This is the party planner, which gives you a place when you open it up to write the names down. And here's even gift certificates to do a little gift certificate so that you can have a friend over and offer a session. And this is just a beautiful thing to do because in today's world, we stand so much in need of nurturing. We stand so much in need of more nurturers and more comforters and those who will pass on the gift of cherishing and adoring. We're sending our I love yous via text message, aren't we? We're doing so much that way and not really necessarily sending our I love yous through the 5 senses. And so this manual becomes a way for you to reach out to someone and to muscle test for someone and to give them a blessing and to let them breathe in a blend that can absolutely just help them to recenter and to ground themselves. And you never know how that can help to mend a broken heart. So even doing a 5-minute session with yourself, creating a divine appointment for yourself each morning, this is just a beautiful thing to start to wake up and to give yourself a gift of self-nurturing. So that's the way I wanted to teach the class tonight, is to give a gift of self-nurturing to you. And as you feel like you as a woman, your vessel is being filled with that gift of nurturing, that you're able to turn around and offer that to someone else who you know may be hurting, but you may not have known exactly the right words to say, because it's sometimes hard when people are grieving to know exactly what to say. Does anybody have any comments for this call? Anything you'd like to say or share with the other women on the call? Just because I don't want to be the one doing all the talking. I want to be able to hear from you. If you can see how you could add this to a daily little experience to offer to yourself, just to help mend the layers of your own broken heart. And I'm just going to be quiet till somebody says something.
Lauren,
Yes.
I had a little one, so you didn't ask how the blessing that you did on me affected me, or what its significance was. We had quite several different family emotional things happen this last week, and so that it was a very good one for me today.
Oh, I'm so happy, Tammy. So happy. I just wish I could reach through this camera and just give you a great big hug. I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. We send you our love and our prayers, and all of you. We are all women on a journey. We have personal battles that we're struggling with every day of our lives, and we all want to claim the joy and the gift of healing and mending, not only for our own hearts, but for the hearts of our loved ones, our families, our friends, the people in Las Vegas, the things that are going on in the world around us. So many people are suffering, and I do believe that what is needed are more comforters and more nurturers. And we want to make sure that you who attend this call feel a bit of comforting and nurturing tonight before you go to bed, and for Susanna before she heads out on the way for the rest of her day. Thank you, Tammy, for sharing that, and Sandra also, for each one of you for sharing. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Just thank you to everyone from Australia, and I agree with you, Karen, that the world is just so in need of love and nurturing. So thank you. I'm really loving your work, and I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Oh, I would love that. And I will, at 9 a.m. my time, might be in the middle of the night, your time. I will be doing this webinar repeated with a slightly different way. So if you want to come back, any of you will be moving into Divine Essence tomorrow, so you can come back and do it again if you'd like. And then before we close, I'm going to ask my husband, because sometimes we wonder, is this something that a man would appreciate or like or want? And so I'm going to ask my husband to come over here and share with us from a husband's point of view how he feels as a man this work with the music, with the oils, with the nurturing, how this can bless men. So this is my husband, Dale Turley.
Hi, everybody. I think one of the things that I've learned about this work is the intuitiveness that comes with it. I've watched people come and get sessions from Karen, and I've watched her work with a lot of the joy coaches, and watched and observed their awareness and abilities grow. Maybe I was growing and being more aware of what they were doing. But in watching all of this happen, I've truly gained an appreciation for what this work is and what it does. The healing, the spirit and mind opening processes that are gone through with this. I believe in this. I see tenderness come. I see confidence raise. I see the glow in the eyes increase. And I think eyes are the windows to the soul, where you can see true change. And to see that and to watch it over and over and over again happen, and to experience it is important, and it's a big deal. I really admire Karen for all the work that she's put into this, and that she does. You have no idea how much she's dedicated to supporting you and all that she does. Sometimes I think she wants to throw the computer across the room, because it takes sometimes so much effort, maybe beyond what she thinks she can do, but she still does it. And I watch the the gifts of God be bestowed, and not just on her, but as people, as the joy coaches take it on and bless their own families and their own loved ones and their own friends and associates. This work is for real. When I first met Karen, not understanding this work at all, I lived in St. George and she lived in Pleasant Grove, and I would just sit on my bed and talk to her. And there was an experience that I had where I don't know how you describe it, but it was like a knowing came through and just flooded through me of the value of this work, and that it was truly a gift from God, and that it was being bestowed. And I knew at that point that not knowing if we were, at that point we're thinking of marriage, but understanding that if things ever did get to that place, that I was given an understanding to help this work go forward through her and supporting what she does. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Dale. I think it's important for the men in our lives, whether that be a father or a brother or a husband or even an ex-husband, to be able to help the men in our lives heal. And this work is a powerful work. And I'm so grateful for those of you who maybe aren't the certified joy coach, but who have your own gifts, your own talents, and your own interest in helping to mend broken hearts, in your own work, your own love of the oils, your own passion in your families, in your business lives, and in your areas of expertise that you've studied, that you would come to this call tonight and share in this evening with us. And it makes me really happy because, like Del said, I never intended for my work to be so all about computerized and webinars. I love the one-on-one. I love being the one to sit there and touch a cheek and stroke the hair of a client that's on the table. And as I worked with Mimi's daughter today, and she's so passionate about this work, and we got to go upstairs afterwards and do a little session for her, and it was just, each session is unique and beautiful. To be able to be there for other women's daughters and for other daughters' mothers is a powerful work. And so I'm grateful for all the women on the call, and especially to those joy coaches who are using their time and talents and energy and effort to help spread this work and to get the word out that there is a group of women and an organization called Joy Coaching America that is facilitating a nurturing and a comforting process that is to help the grieving, to get through the grief. Sometimes I think my biggest grief is that I don't know how to reach more people and to share this work with those who really stand in need. So if you feel, after being on this call tonight, an impetus to give the person who invited you to the call a call and to find out more about how to become a joy coach, this book is the beginning of a beautiful journey. And even if you started with this book and ended with this book, you would be able to add so much to the beautiful work that you're already doing in your homes and families. So thank you tonight for being on this call and for answering the call. And we thank you for being here tonight. I hope you all have sweet dreams, except for Susanna, who's going to have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you.